Hello, good morning. Happy December to everybody. Make sure you are muted and then hand emojis if you have questions. I'm going to let everybody on. We have this call and then we have one more call in December. So let's make sure everybody's getting in. We're muted. Everybody make sure you're muted. Check your buttons there. December is magic, and December is my favorite month of the year. So we're gonna start with a little coaching riff. We've got our cute little candy canes to get us in the spirit of festivities. So a lot of people think that December means it's the end of the year, it's coast mode, it's time to chill out. I like to live in the opposite realm. December is magic and not in terms of money. Yes, it can be, but December is like delicious and fun and playful. Even everything I'm wearing is like super soft and nourishing, nothing restricting, nothing tight. Like have fun, wear ridiculous earrings, make big goals, have big dreams. Whatever happened in Black Friday happened. Like, cool, it's done. Let's move on. 2025 is so close. I would rather us lay the groundwork and the foundation for 2025 right now versus slowing down and just being like, I'm going to coast until next year and I'll start fresh in the new year. No, here's the deal. The year's not really over because you're all entrepreneurs. It is snowing right now. I just looked out the window. How festive. December is magic. There's abundance everywhere, okay? Um, so here we go. You are not just in business for 2024, which means nothing changes on December 31st. So why are we slowing down? Why are we like, it's the end? It's not. It's just the end of a fiscal year. And if you're in Dominate and you were only in business for 2024, I think you found the wrong spot because these are for continuing businesses. So there's your little motivational pump is like, it's not over. You still have your entire business next year. And if you feel butthole clenchy for your goals, I want you to go back to January of 2023 and I want you to look at your reports. How much money have you made from January 2023 to now? So that's 2 years, and we're going to look at a 3 year goal. So, how much have you made in the last 2 years? And then give yourself another year. So, December is not the end. You have all of 2025 to hit this new 3 year goal, right? So, that's a nice perspective shift that you can change if you feel clinchy, if you feel like it hasn't gone how you wanted to. Okay, so we're feeling unmotivated. You guys want a little sneak peek? Here we go. I was feeling complacent. I was feeling unmotivated because things were easy. It was fine, but it wasn't like, like it wasn't powerful. It wasn't lighting me up. Like, cool, launch model call, book some sessions. Like I wasn't excited. Um, and come to find out, it's because I didn't have my next nut to crack. I didn't have my next direction point. Monetary goals don't light me up anymore because we've hit them and we continue to hit them. So it's like, money's not motivating me. What can happen? Well, working on a new studio. I'll unveil more of that later, but long story short, thought our lease expired in 2 years. No, our lease expires in August, like in 9 months from now. And I have clients booked until 2026, which means I need to have a space finished on August 1st. Our lease ends July 31st. So it like lit a fire under me. We found something really cool. Don't know if it's ours yet or not. That's neither here nor there, but like find your next nut to crack. So maybe it's, you want to impact 75 women next year. Maybe it's, you want to take a vacation with your family. What is your next motivator? Andrea, I know. So long to that good studio. We found something better, or we're going to. It is what it is. So we're gonna get started. I just wanted to give you guys a little boost, a little kick. December is magic. It doesn't have to be the end of the world. And also, people are like, oh, it's Christmas. Nobody has money. People have money and they're spending it. This is the shopping time of the year. So why not let them spend it with you? Okay, so there's your shift. All right. Yeah, Joe's in Growth Galaxy. She got a sneak peek of the new space this morning, or what's happening. Come on down, Joe. You're first. We'll just go in line and we can go from there. Okay. How about it?
Hello.
Hi.
You get a treat. My hair's down. See, miracles happen in
I
December.
was gonna say you're looking fancy today.
I don't even remember why I had my hair down this weekend, but I did for some reason, and here we are. So, So I'm doing my 12 Days of Joe, which I do every year. So I have all that set up. It's just like, my annual like kind of giveaway and engagement. So I figured on the back end of that is when I would launch my birthday model call.
Yep.
Kind of thinking about like I don't want to run it like I don't know. I don't know if I should just run it kind of how I always have, jazz it up, like give it a new name. I normally do I think like a 199 session fee you get because I don't allow them to do a birthday set throughout the year norm.
Right.
So
That's how we
hey,
are.
this is your one chance to like book it. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, should I've noticed my group is more nurture based. Like I did the model of the month. I sold like 12 at Black Friday, felt good with that. I
Good.
was like super happy. Like I have been in your world long enough. I am not one who needs to book 30 or 40. I don't give a crap
Yep.
because I knew I was running this and then I'm doing the tattoo giveaway. So I was like happy with that. So
Yep.
just kind of figuring out the best way to like present it and offer it out and do it because like I also tried on Black Friday, like I saw in whatever call, I'm in 100 calls with you, but
Mm-hmm.
oh, let's drop it for your like fast people. Yeah, I just think my people are 100% nurture based right now.
Yep.
And normally how I run it is not nurture based. I don't feel
Okay.
like I don't remember. So I'm like, let me just see like kind of what you think. Because then on the back end of December, I'm gonna do like kind of what we talked about in behind the scenes, of like
Yep.
offering out the New Year's like thing and all that. So just kind of wanted your thoughts on that real quick.
Speaking of that, if you guys haven't done, not last week because we were on Thanksgiving, if you didn't catch that, we have two behind the scenes trainings this week because I didn't do one last week because I was in Thanksgiving family mode. But the week before that is end of year content for December. I swear, if you're not doing that, you guys are wasting your investment. I line out everything for
Yeah.
December. It's going to help your engagement, it's going to help your camaraderie of your group. Like, please sit down and watch 20 minutes of that and then take 30 minutes to schedule it out. Like, that will be so beneficial for your audience in December. For the birthday model call, this is a great question because this can serve everybody. Things to launch in December, something very broad. You don't want super niched and you don't want pay in full. I mean, you can do whatever the fuck you want, but from a strategic approach, you want something broad so that you can serve as many people as possible. I wouldn't do like neon lights model call. I wouldn't do bondage. I would do something like birthday, client closet model call. Pick the word of the year model call. So like your word of the year in 2025, it could be, fierce, it could be freedom, it could be whatever. And then you position it as like that's going to be the vibe that they're going to represent in their session. So December sessions are perfect for broad themed, normally nurture based, application based model calls. Um, Low entry fee. I would do like 129, 149, 179, 199 as a way to have an easy yes prior to the holidays. That's where if you did like a last minute opening pay in full, yes, you could. It might be a little harder to get somebody to drop 3 grand right now versus 199. I'm not saying it's not possible. I mean, we get 6,000 pay in fulls even in December. That's fine. But if you want butts and seats, I would do a lower session fee, like 149 to 199 range. And here's the thing, I don't over discount my December stuff. Like I don't do a collection discount. When we used to do the birthday model call, it was a 199 session fee, a birthday setup, and then no collection discount. So you don't have to discount all your spots, but this is just a nice incentive to get butts and seats. The way you can position it as no payments until 2025 after you lock in. So their first prepayment wouldn't come until the like end towards January. So they have some time. So you're not asking them to pay in full for a session. You're doing something broad and application based. For the client closet model call, I would do something that's like they're helping you. This is good shit, Layla. I love that. I'm just like rapid fire. I love December. December is one of my favorite months.
Mhm.
Um, Two parts to this. Okay, let's keep going on the strategic side. I know. I'm like, here we go. So low session fee. I wouldn't do a collection discount unless you guys really want butts and seats and you have some space, sure, throw a collection discount. I would also not cap the dates on this. I would not do just a quarter one. Like you got to have it paid off by February. My whole calendar is open. We actually booked our first 2026 session last week. I was like, yay, this is fun. Now I need a new studio, literally, because I didn't know our lease was up soon. So let them utilize the entire year next year to prepay. That's how I would fill these last 2024 bookings is like, you've got all of next year to pay for it. You just need to lock in your session fee today, and then we can have months and months to pay it off. It will probably be a little harder if you're trying to fill quarter one right now with people being like, oh, it's Christmas or whatever, give them time to pay it off. Now, then your ego is going to tell you, like, okay, what if everybody books the end of 2025, Kiera, and then I don't have any spaces in like April and March? You fill those leftover spaces with niche offers, with guinea pig offers, with like, hey, I want somebody to come model this new body jewelry that I have. You can book it anytime between February and April. I'll give you 500 off. So my last minute like niche-y offers have a little bit more of a discount. Those broad offers that you are giving them a long time to prepay is just the discounted session fee and maybe a special bonus, things like that. Does that make sense? Does that help? That's basically a December training on rapid fire. Here's what type to offer in December. Joe, how are we feeling? Did that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything
Yeah.
else? That was a lot.
Um, just when I'm gonna do kind of something niche-y. I don't know exactly what it's gonna be, more Valentine's-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm releasing out a bunch of new
Yep.
sets. Um, and I kind of want to play off them for Valentine's Day. So just like when I should launch that.
I
We don't,
think
I mean, because we don't have to go super deep because I know I have one-on-one with you, but just trying to like lay it out versus my birthday model call.
you could launch it at the end of December, but I would almost maybe wait until January. We're doing BFF Galentine's Day minis, which I'm super excited about. Like, grab your BFF. I'll take pictures of you. Cool. It's past clients only, but you could open it up to anybody.
Yeah.
I've already booked one of those. I offered it last week, but I'm not going to push it until the beginning of January.
Okay.
Because I position it as an event in February,
Mhm.
like that's your Galentine's Day fun, not public event, but like they don't need the images back by Valentine.
Right.
So
Right.
I don't care to market it later. And it's a low entry, two digitals. Here you go. I'll upgrade them later.
Okay. So kind of, I'm just gonna kind of play then with the birthday model call of like, hey, I'm kind of doing a new birthday setup because obviously my studio is gonna be new. So even if you've done
Right.
a birthday, like you get a free new birthday setup. This
Yep.
is the only time of year you can grab it.
I would
And the
also
studio is gonna be brand like because I mean I'm completely redoing my studio.
Right. So anybody doing a birthday, the way you can position this is like, yeah, we celebrate our 18th, our 21st, our 40th, our 50th, but like, what about your 32nd birthday? What
Yeah.
about your 29th? I want you to call out those odd random birthdays that nobody celebrates and give them an initiative to book it. Be like, yeah, you're turning 37. That's perfect. Why are you waiting until the golden 40 to celebrate yourself? So there's content ideas for birthday sessions. Good.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Layla, you are next on my screen. Come on down. How are we feeling?
Hello. Better. I laid in bed literally all day yesterday. Cooper gave me some sort of cold plague. I don't know
Oh,
what was going on. It was rough. I literally slept pretty much all of yesterday. And then after Joe's question and our like little December chat there, I'm kind of like, I don't know what to do now because I was gonna do something pretty niche. But my main question was about so my birthday's on the 19th and I had saved from one of our previous calls like the 5 days of serving for Christmas and I was going to do it for my birthday.
yep.
And just kind of like how can I make it really successful? Sorry, my nose is like itchy. I not tied into that, but I did birthday a couple weeks ago
Mhm.
with the Double Your Digitals. It was my early Black Friday and nothing. I got no applications, like completely just didn't take off. So I want this to kind of do well so that I can lead into, so I'm thinking tomorrow, so I get the keys for my studio. I can pick them up anytime. I have the studio officially.
Yeah.
So I was thinking I'm gonna make an event and it's gonna be like the super secret like announcements
Yep.
unveiled for tomorrow. And then I'm just gonna go into the studio and be like, ah, surprise, this is mine. So I want this 5 days of serving to go really well to get everyone like amped up, so that I can like go into like, some sort of offer
Mhm.
for having the new space. So I hope that makes sense.
Yes. When are you launching the new offer? Do you know?
No, I've kind of changed everything. I started doing a calendar.
I'm pulling up this calendar on my phone so I can see you guys on the computer still. What I would do, you guys, if you're launching anything in December, at the latest next Friday. I would not launch anything past the 13th because that is when we get into like Christmas hibernation mode and people are like shut off in
Yeah, I
terms
was looking at the beginning of the week.
spending buying. So, sweet spot for December launch is not now, it's Cyber Monday. We're getting like clogged. This Wednesday, the 4th, until next Friday, the 13th. You should have good luck doing anything and not getting lost. I know for myself, like even my brain goes holiday turn off mode by the 16th. And then after Christmas, it's like New Year sludge, eat a bunch of cheese, sit on the couch. I don't even know what day it is. I wouldn't try to force a launch then. So, Layla, if you could get that out like next Monday,
Okay.
would that work?
I think so.
Do you know, are you doing like new spaces, new faces, or I
Um,
I have a funny idea that just popped in my head, and sometimes humor works well. I would do a spin on like the founding fathers. And you need like the founding babes for your studio. I would take a graphic of Mount Rushmore and I would Canva on lingerie onto the graphic,
that's
be like
funny.
the founding father babes, because people are going to be like, what the fuck is this? Which is exactly what we want. It's like brand damping it. It's like making them stop their scroll and be like, what is this? And then they're going to be like, I want to be a founding father. Like, this is amazing. And you can even spin it even more and be like, call me daddy. I want you to also be a founding father with me in our brand new studio, yada, yada, yada. It's a regular, I would make it application based because yours respond better, I think, right? More nurture. So they can apply to be one of the founding fathers for, insert your studio name.
Love that.
Isn't that fun?
That is
Sometimes,
so funny though. I love that.
sometimes I hate my brain because I spew out these incredible ideas, and the building we're looking at is a historical building in town, and it's got like the pillars to match our house. And I'm like, ooh, founding father. It was a bank, like Terre Haute's first bank. We're buying a bank, hopefully. I'm speaking it into existence, you guys. So what if you run with that and get it launched by next week?
I like that.
Does that feel good? Do you feel like you have direction?
Yeah,
How,
definitely.
have you done the BTS training for the December content yet?
No, honestly, I did not see it. So I wrote that down somewhere in my notes to go
I'll write it in the
watch
chat.
that.
It's called end of year content, very specific. End of year content. I need to do it for myself. Um, it's amazing. Keep doing that while you're launching and just you'll know what I'm talking about once you watch it, but have your tagline be like, and if you're ready to join these other babes, become a founding father by applying here. Right. Okay. So just make your call to action the application during next week when you do that.
Okay.
Sound good?
Sounds good. Sorry.
You're good. Tag me in the group. If you need help with anything, please share the graphic because I want to see that come to life.
I
I think
will.
that would be so fun. Okay, amazing. Sarah, you are next on my screen. Come on down.
Hello.
How are things going?
Things are good. They're picking up. I had kind of a revelation the last couple weeks that I'm kind of like a COVID baby business. And so ever since I opened, every booking for me has been very like model call book immediate, model call book immediate. And it's been kind of an immediate satisfaction type of booking system for me. So I've decided to just kind of go with the slow flow that I'm getting right now and be like, you know what? Maybe I need to start playing the long game like I always should have been, but never did. And
Sustainability is sexy.
yeah. Yeah. So I'm actually scheduling out a lot of stuff like that's not an immediate booking, and anything I'm setting up for next year is like slow moving and just kind of setting things up for success to be a continuous situation.
Yep.
So I do have a few things. I made notes. Okay, so one of the long game things that I'm doing a lot more of that I'm trying to dive into because I've realized I just am getting really tired of Facebook, is in-person marketing stuff. And I know that you've talked a lot about this. There's like a women's leadership like group, kind of business group that's in my area. So I joined that and I'm going to the event on December 5th to kind of market myself, which is great because I have one of their presidents of that group has done a shoot with me. So I feel really good about that.
Perfection. Yeah.
I'm also looking at like joining Chamber of Commerce and kind of going around to different businesses and like trying to collaborate a little bit. So my main question, well, a few questions for that side of things. I know when your group was deleted, you like shifted things to a different platform where it wasn't Facebook anymore, but now you're on a different thing. How has that been for you guys? Like, has that been more fruitful or the same fruitful or whatever Facebook was? Like, how has that?
I had it, oh, I was using the Telegram and I only had it for or I had just that for a month because I couldn't start a new Facebook group. We did end up starting a new Facebook group. We've got almost 400 members. I used them both. My word of recommendation is if you've still got a group, start something else now so that you're not left with nothing.
Okay.
Like we had an email list, but it was like maybe 600 people, probably from a Black Friday sale in 2017. Like it was dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Telegram is great because one, uncensored, you can share whatever you want. So they got to see the spicy stuff that's what we're known for. Like I don't shoot bland. We shoot mostly like spicy, but you wouldn't know that because I get fucking banned all the time, like everybody else. So they were like, oh, and people were like, oh, I want to do that. The other thing is the sense of camaraderie. My lady said, I feel so much safer. I had people who never signed releases share their own photos in there because they were like, you can't screenshot, you can't save, they're smaller. So for whatever reason on their phone, they felt safer to share in the chat in Telegram versus in the group. So love it. It's amazing. I don't post every day in there because there's no algorithm. So like you don't have to. But I give them like behind the scenes sneak peek. I'm like, you guys want to see what we're working on? We're remodeling our bathroom here to be like a penthouse bathroom that I'll shoot shower sessions in, things like that. So like, they're getting first dibs, sneak peeks. It's basically like a VIP group, not on Facebook, but like a special, very important. Like I love it. I say always have like a space as a backup, as a just in case. And it wasn't hard. It wasn't like, oh, I feel like I'm managing another group because it was just like, you don't have to post 10 times a day. It's just like I pop in once in a while. I send videos. I'm like, I'm at the studio waiting on our babe to arrive. Like, it's just easy. So
yeah, it seems like more of like a chat with the women that you want to like a direct line. Okay.
Yep.
And then for in-person marketing, is there any like advice you would give on like things to for sure do? Like I know Chamber of Commerce is a really great one. I know this women's group is going to be really great for me, but like specific businesses that people wouldn't really think about that might be a really good collaboration to do with, or any type of anything. I have I just got into a really cool collaboration with a lingerie boutique that's a mobile boutique. So she goes around in her little like RV setup and like does these mobile like lingerie shows. So she goes to a lot of expos and stuff. And so we're doing a Valentine's Day girls event where it's like a lingerie party where you can bring your best friend, try on lingerie, shop, get a mini done, like things like that.
Perfect.
but I want to kind of like really just be known in the community. So is there anything that like maybe even not boudoir focused specifically, but things that I could do to like really just
Yeah.
get in there?
So most of our offline marketing is not boudoir specific. Here's my best tip. Be a creep in the best way. I want you to go to these events. So normally they assign you seats. We got sat next to the old lady from United Way. She was like 72. The YMCA director, who was some sports guy, and like not ideal clients. But what I did is I creeped and I watched the room. Obviously, introduce yourself to who you're sitting with, but try to go to an award ceremony. Who is winning the 40 under 40? Me. It's going to be me and Caleb next year because we're busting our ass and getting out in the community. So, who is winning your events? Who do they mention? Who are they tagging on Facebook? Find out who's who and go friend request them. Don't try to add them to your group. Don't try to like add them to your Instagram. Go get on their socials, become Facebook friends with them, attend the coffee meetups, just figure out who the people are. So we lost our group at the end of July, beginning of August, and literally the night of the Prox workshop when we were all sitting around the fire, the head Chamber of Commerce lady booked a session with me. So it was like a 4 month slow burn. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, it's paying off because we made a direct line. We made a direct contact to her. Go introduce yourself. Hi, I'm a new member. I'm Sarah. Like, so nice to meet you. I've heard a lot about you.
Yeah.
So selling is just connecting. So if you can focus on connecting with those people, because even if let's say it's a man in charge, maybe he's not married and it's just like a 53-year-old man, go introduce yourself because you don't know who he knows. Things like
Yeah.
that. So sometimes
Okay.
chambers can be very stuffy and sticky, but you know there's at least somebody in that audience who knows somebody that would want to be with you.
Gotcha.
Full disclosure, it's very awkward and not fun at first. And I was the DD
Yeah.
that day, so I couldn't even have a glass of wine. So I made Caleb go to all of my networking. So if you have the chance to like Uber or bring a pal so you have somebody to talk to, that
Yeah.
also helps. But it's
Okay.
a slow burn, but it's worth it.
Okay. All
And
right, cool. Thank you.
you're welcome.
Um,
Does that help?
and
Anything else?
and then okay, that do. Okay, and then the only other thing too kind of goes back to me wanting to get into like educational stuff next year. I did this really cool thing with Amanda, and she does a lot of like diving in and trying to find like energy spots where you could do better and kind of unblock some things. And so she did a little session with me, and she had me like envision my future and like jump forward on my timeline to whenever my brain took me to. And I feel like since I opened and wanting to get into education, I've been really wanting to dive into like speaker roles somehow, like TED Talks or speaking at conferences or whatever that might look like. And I know a few things that I'm like really knowledgeable at that I could focus on, but like, how do you get started in like speaking places? Do you just apply or do you just kind of go live on Facebook all the time and kind of put your speaking out there and people come to you? Like, any advice on that aspect as well as opening like the guides and stuff?
I started mine from the ground up. So like some people are like, go ask to post in other people's groups. I think that's very gross and like off the back of somebody who's built their own. So I posted mine all on my personal Facebook. I got asked to speak at the conferences that I've
Okay.
spoken at by like other people in the audience and tagging you and stuff. So the main thing is build yourself a fucking brand. Put yourself
Okay.
out there. And you need to do it now. Like you're not going to get asked to speak next week by posting one
Right.
thing. So like my education stuff started in 2021 and I spoke on
Mhm.
stage for the first time 3 months ago in September. So
Gotcha.
it is a long game and I did tons of fucking workshops for 3 people. And now I've
Yeah.
in Zoom rooms of 200. So it's also
Gotcha.
just like getting them in there. I would, if I had like one-on-one clients that I was mentoring, I gave them a spot to my group class. Like, hey, sit in, help me build the confidence. So I would map yourself out of like start posting on your regular page. If there are, so some business people, depending on what their business is, they are podcast guests for others. So you could see if
Okay.
there's any podcast that you could get in. I was also part of a like Tanya Smith summit this year. She was like, "Hey, you've been
Oh yeah.
recommended by me." I think she has a podcast, but I didn't know her beforehand. She didn't really know me, so it was like word of mouth to other people. So start small.
Gotcha.
Who can you impact? I also tell people if you're getting into anything, whether it's like sex, relationship coaching, business coaching, whatever, don't start with a group program. You only know what you know yourself. The way I built
Right.
Dominate was by having a bajillion one-on-one clients, and I realized I was telling the one-on-one people the same thing over and over again. The biggest
Gotcha.
mistake I see is people trying to open a course. I'll take the first 20 people. It's like, but what are you teaching? Like, build
Yeah.
your course on the back end or whatever. So start
Yeah.
small, grow from there. Long
Okay.
game. Don't be gross. You're not. I'm just saying in general, like
No, no, I know.
in some of the methods that people put out there are like, go add somebody's audience and then offer them a free thing and make your first 10
Oh,
in 30 days. And it's like, this took me freaking years. So
yeah.
just lay the groundwork, do a slow burn, be okay
Okay.
with putting in the work. But I just
Okay.
started on my personal page. I didn't open a business page or anything like that. Because I had the audience there. So just like know where your audience
Gotcha.
is and find them. Does that help?
Okay. Yeah, that definitely helps because it kind of fits in with my whole goal for next year anyway. So
There you go.
that makes sense. Okay. I appreciate it. That's it.
You're welcome. Heather, you're
Thank you.
next on my screen. Come on down. I don't know where the country accent came in. Sometimes I get very southern. It comes out of nowhere. Is Heather on? Yep.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're
I was
good.
trying to figure out how to unmute myself.
No.
Alrighty. So I have a few things. I'll just start with this one, because this is something I'm wanting to launch, I guess, probably in the next week, as you were saying, for December. I was thinking about doing after dark sessions since it
Yep.
gets dark so early, but too, where your post, and then I was like, I don't know. And then you were like, well, you got to say something. And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, well, obviously I could have thought about that for a second.
That's okay.
But yeah, I was thinking after dark, but I don't want to say after dark sessions because I feel like that's used a lot.
Okay.
So definitely maybe just help with thinking of something different with that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and you already talked about when to launch that, so I'm definitely thinking in the next week.
Okay.
Also, I was wondering if it was too close to Black Friday. So I didn't run a Black Friday sale, but my other photographer did run a Black Friday sale.
I would launch next week then. I don't,
Okay.
Black Friday, I saw it. It was like broad, so that's
Yeah.
fine. Your after darks are going to be niche. What if you could call them literally any I honestly think after dark is good because
You
it's
think it's good?
to the point and explains
Yeah.
it. You could do like something dumb and cheesy like Vixens after midnight. I would keep it after dark. Night or you
Okay.
call them nighttime sessions. Like
Yeah.
it's easy because it's not something like a body jewelry model call.
Mm,
We're doing like just the jewels. That's part of our bucket list thing. Like easy, cutesy, it works. But after dark, there's so much positioning you could do with that. Like
right.
you don't want to take off work. I totally get it. Don't come in until 6 p.m. Like it does the marketing for you. You can use that brand awareness of what an after dark is. I really wouldn't change it.
Okay.
Mhm.
Then I will leave it. Also something I was thinking about lately, I thought about a long time ago, and I'm sure others have done this before, but I thought about maybe targeting some like OnlyFans content creators, like with some kind of membership
Yeah.
photo shoot thing. I wasn't sure. I mean, it's just something I kind of thought of. So I wasn't sure if it was a good idea, how to position that.
Um, So we used to have an OnlyFans, and it was quite successful during
Nice.
COVID. Those were the
Yeah.
days. I will say the OnlyFans people, our buyers are so cheap. Normally, it's like a quantity thing. I would never even like we drop 8 grand on our boudoir sessions on the regular, but I would never spend the money for OF because we can just like whip up a titty picture on the phone so quickly. So you would need to be like very high volume or use it as a way if you have a date on your calendar, instead of marketing a last minute opening to a regular boudoir client, be like, content creators, I've got a mini session day for you. Here you go. And do like a quick digital in and out. I would not do a membership because,
Okay.
I mean, you could. You could. We did a boudoir membership back in 2022. It wasn't for OnlyFans, but it was not very lucrative because you could fill those days with a regular client.
Right.
Unless you have some type of connection where you just have like a surplus of creators that you could come in and book like 10 a month and you're just like, here you go, in and out. It would be really hard, I feel like, to get them to spend what you could make more with one regular boudoir client.
Right. Okay. Yeah. It was just, I mean, I put an interest post out anyways, just because
Yeah.
I mean, might as well see who would be interested if it was something I decided to do. Um,
I would
but
trial it as a one-off versus launching like a year-long membership or a 6-month
sure.
membership. Try it
Okay.
as like a day of minis,
Oh, Damon, yeah. Okay.
like a cash injection for you, but
Okay.
don't commit yourself to something because with them, they're not in contract either. They could decide to stop at any point.
True.
We had one for like an OF membership and the girl got a public job. She's like, I gotta stop my OnlyFans. I need out of this contract. And we were like, well, what? She's like, I'm not
Yeah.
doing it anymore. So there's just so many different things that could happen. So I would just think it through before jumping into a full-blown membership.
Okay. Alrighty. And then, what else did I have? Okay. The After Dark. Sorry, I have a little
You're good.
note scribbled down. Oh, as far as the After Dark, so I was trying to think of how, like, what kind of offer to do because I feel like I've been doing kind of bigger offers lately. So I was thinking about just doing a discounted session fee with the After Dark sessions, and
Yep.
like you said, letting them know, like, hey, no payments until 2025. With that,
Yep.
I think that's the way I'm gonna go with that.
That's
Uh,
how we run our After Darks. It's normally a little higher discounted session fee, so like $2.99 or $3.99 versus $1.99 because it's like later and I have to work at night. But no collection discount, just
okay.
session fee discount. And I
Okay.
let them know that it's like a limited edition. Like we don't have these all year round. You can't just email me and say, "Hey, I want an After Dark session." Like this is your one chance to book. My After Darks do really well booking a year in advance because they're able to do a prepayment plan. So I actually book like my November After Darks for next year are already booked. I booked them this previous July.
Yeah, that's which I may have waited too late, but I was just, thinking about it because it's
Well,
winter and
you
it
could
gets
put
dark.
like next December's.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking because I mean it gets dark so early now that it wouldn't be such a late night. Like I wouldn't want them during the summertime when it doesn't get dark till 9.
Mine come in at 4 in
Yeah.
November. They
Okay.
come in at 4 and I'm done by 9. I have
Perfect.
a short process because we don't do hair and makeup, but you could go ahead and put that out there and have them book for next year. If they wanted to get in sooner, put them in December or January if you have
Mhm.
space. But if not, let them do a prepayment plan for November of next year.
Okay. Cool, cool. Okay. And then the last thing was I was wanting to do maybe Valentine's minis. I normally don't do much for Valentine's Day.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I was thinking about doing minis and I just wasn't sure because we were doing Christmas minis, but then it was like too close to like Christmas time ish, so we backed off of that. And I was wondering if we launched that in January, do you think it would be already too close to Valentine's Day coming up for the minis to be successful?
If you're wanting to position them as Valentine's Day, like a present for
Yeah.
Valentine's Day, then yes. But if
Okay.
you're just doing like a girls' day, Galentine's treat yourself, then no. I
Okay.
think you can make it work. Just depends on how you position it.
Yeah, maybe we'll position it more like that. Well, we thought about doing Polaroids like that day, so that way, if it was more of a gift, they would get them right there, right then and there.
Mhm.
Um, but that was just a thought we had as well.
I would play with either. I find Valentine's Day is easier to sell as a treat yourself, like a
Okay.
Galentine's Day versus a partner thing. Because we get a lot of like, oh, well, I don't have a partner.
hmm
If only I did. Well, do it anyways. Honestly, instead of Valentine's minis, I like a big Valentine's Day event at the studio and then upsell them into a real session after the event.
Okay. Yeah,
So
we had a really successful Valentine's event last year, so maybe I'll just stick with a
that
Valentine's Day event rather than minis then.
I would maybe play with that because Valentine's Day is such a Hallmark holiday. I
Yeah.
would almost rather see an event, build that community, and then offer, I don't know, maybe you need quarter 2 dates filled. Offer like $500 off privately via email if they book a quarter 2 date right after because they've just been in the studio.
Okay.
Literally every single person who has come, we did a Valentine's Day event last year. 6 people showed up, they all booked a full session. Like getting them in the studio so easy to upsell after.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, maybe I'll do that. So, what if then instead of doing minis and doing that, maybe just if we let's say we did want to do a Valentine set because we do like doing different kinds of sets. It's just fun, kind of breaks everything up. Would you recommend a certain time to maybe just run like one day of like for 2 people, like a Valentine set at the beginning of January?
I would do end of January.
Okay.
Yeah, beginning of January, people are still in like holiday hangover weirdness. End of
Okay.
January.
Okay, perfect. All right. I think that is it.
Perfect. Love
Thank
it.
you.
Kendry, you are next on my screen.
There we go.
Perfect.
My phone is so hard to get it to do all the things. Okay, so I finished out the booty grant
Mm-hmm.
applications. I got 18, which was super awesome. I'm super stoked about that. Um, so a few different questions there. What are your go-to like closers on the phone? I did do one call before this and did get her to pay on the phone, which like typically I would have been like, it's okay, you can pay it later because we had a lot of like mishaps with like getting the firm to work and like all this stuff, but she ended up paying it and booking in for May. I do have a few more calls today and like this week that I want to do on my form. Let me pull it up here. I did add in like an option when I sent out the form link where I put in what is your budget for a boudoir session, just because I was curious like what
well,
their
they're,
budget
they're
was.
always going to tell you it's like $200. Nobody who ever spends 5,000 wants to spend 5,000.
Right, right. Well, I had a few that were like up higher and that helped, but there was a lot that had like $100 or I don't know or talk to me or whatever. So I plan to call everybody.
Yeah, I was going to say scratch that because that's going to scare them away. You're immediately putting the thought in their head that they have to have a budget, and whatever number you say is going to be too high.
So take that out.
Take that off. Yeah, because
Well, for the next one.
nobody's budget is ever their budget.
Right. Okay.
So
That's what I wondered, like if I should like
take that
do
off.
something different
Immediately,
for the lower
delete.
one. No more. Okay.
Get it out.
Good to know.
Yeah.
So just get everybody on the call or on the phone and kind of
Yeah.
talk with them.
Yeah.
Okay, because my offer is like 50% off my session fee, and 50% off of collections, which still gets me a pretty decent.
Do they have to pay in full? Was that the deal?
No, it can
Oh.
be a payment plan. Just pay in full for the session fee to
And
book.
you're getting 50% off?
Yeah.
Okay, well, since you already put it out there, like
I haven't put it out there. That's just what I told the first client.
okay, don't do 50% off unless they're doing pay in full.
Okay.
Yeah, we did a 40% off scholarship for 24 hours, but they had to pay in full. So it was like a 20,000 cash day, which is great, but they were paying in full and they were only filling last minute openings. If you
Okay.
got them on a prepayment plan, do like, I don't know, less of a discount. 50% off is huge.
Yeah, it is.
Now,
I wanted butts and seats, so I was like, what can I get that's fair for me and fair for them?
not half
Okay.
off your collections.
I know. That's like my go-to
So
always.
what did they apply for? What did they think they're getting?
It's a scholarship grant. So
Right.
I said that, it's not a free shoot. I had them like initial that twice. And basically just that I had an amount to apply towards a session.
So they
And
don't,
then I only talked to one client. So they don't have like a specific thing. I was very vague with it.
so you can save it.
Yeah.
Okay. I was afraid that you had told everybody half off everything. Here you
No.
go. Okay.
That
Okay.
was my Black Friday sale, but nobody bid on that. I mean, I guess that's a lie.
Thank
There was
you,
two.
universe. That's protection for you. Okay.
Okay.
So, sure, 50% off session fee. Love it. Amazing. Do 1,000 off collections. That's huge, but because you posted your pricing the other day, so like you still have some room. I
Right.
would do that specifically because you're allowing them to prepay. Now, if you want a cash injection for the end of the year, you've got some January spots you want to fill. Sure, half off. They got to pay in full today though. Like, I'm all for a fun high cash day. Like cash injection, want some money, need some money, but not for half off prepayment. Okay. So
Okay.
maybe switch to like 1,000 off. If you want like a good juicy discount for them,
Right.
for you need butts and seats. I would switch it to that.
Okay. Well, that helps a lot because I was like, what do I do on these calls? I haven't made it super vague and I want to book in as many as possible. And I'm like spending the first like 15 minutes just talking to them, like, how was your Thanksgiving? Like elaborating on what they put in their forms and like talking about that before I ever even mention anything about the session. So I feel like there's like connection there.
Okay.
Which is like kind of like the anchor swoop hug. I've like got a few variations I've like worked into my own, but what do I do after this? So like what is my next step? Does this count as a serve
Yeah.
or okay.
Yeah. This is a big serve. What I would do is all of the content from BTS,
Mhm.
that the end of year content. Have you done
Yeah, I
that yet?
have that on my list. No, it's on my list for December.
I would do that. Are you wanting to do an offer in December or
I did kind of want to. I just really want to hit that goal. So I've made like 83,000 gross and I really want to see that goal come true and I feel like I totally can.
okay? I would look into something like we were talking about in the beginning, something broader,
Okay, I wrote that down.
smaller session fee, no collection discount. Or since you're still doing calls for this, maybe let's go something niche that they have to apply for.
Okay.
To
I
try,
think that application helps a lot.
yeah, after talking a few meetings ago with you, I think you're definitely nurture based, so stick with the application.
I did want to do the 125 in January. Should I just bump that up to December?
Yeah,
Like for your 2025 session?
I would do like a word of the year project. So have them like claim a word of the year. And I would position it as like everybody sets resolutions, everybody has a word of the year, but how are you actually committing to that? By booking a session for next July. So you have something to look forward to halfway through the year. Your word was supposed to be like bad bitch era or freedom. Like you could have them choose their era, position it however you want. But basically, it's a regular ass session positioned as something fun, empowering, uplifting, fits the New Year's vibe, 125 session fee. You could do a collection discount if you wanted to. Have it open however long your calendar's open. They can do a prepayment plan. You don't have to do a collection discount, but it ties that emotional aspect of giving them something to stay committed throughout the year. It's kind of a passion project, not really, not like a huge big one, but that's what I would run with. Application based. And the question can be like, why would a boudoir session in 2025 serve you?
Okay, I like that. Do you offer a pay in full incentive to
No,
people?
my people have to pay in full no matter what, so I'm not discounting the price. Unless I want a cash injection, unless I just feel like having a $20,000 day, then I'm like, here you go. Sometimes I will do that. Like, if you guys
Okay.
are in my group, you'll see like, but you just did a pay in full discount because I was bored and I wanted some money. But on regular sessions, no, I'm not going to discount you paying in full because you have to pay in full no matter what.
Right.
I love reoccurring revenue. I love somebody's on a payment plan right now for $42 a week. And somebody was like, is it even worth it to have like such small payments coming out? Guess what? We don't get to 50K months by 5,000 pay in fulls every single day. It's
Right.
little payment plans that stack up. I would rather build monthly reoccurring versus getting all of my pay in fulls in 1 week and then being in like butthole clench mode of like, oh my God, I don't have
Right.
anybody on payment plans. So yes.
Okay.
No pay in full discount because you have to pay me in full no matter what. I'm not going to reward you just for following the rules that everybody else is.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
I've had a few people ask that. I'm like, I don't I don't know. And then do you have them sign the contract and pay on the phone? So like
When
I
I
had
did
to
phone
pay,
calls,
but
I
then
also did. Yeah.
okay.
I would
She
go
reviewed it and didn't sign it yet. Like, well,
yeah,
you
because
have to sign that too.
people. Yeah. So when I
Okay.
did do calls, I would have them sign. I just texted them the link to the contract and I said, can you put your phone on speaker so we can go through this? And they paid right then and there. The other thing is if people are seriously asking, do you have a discount if I pay in full today? You can say, yes, I'll save you the headache of having to worry about a monthly charge coming out and you can have it all taken care of. And if they're like, because basically you're telling them, like, have the audacity to ask me to pay less. When you play dumb like that, and you're like, yes, it'll save yourself the headache of having a monthly payment come out and worrying about charges. If they really want to fight back, then if somebody has the balls to be like, oh, well, I just wanted to know if you'd take off any money. I say, no, my prices are my prices. Like, it's the same investment, whether you pay full today or later on.
Okay.
So then it
Yeah.
kind of puts them on the spot of like, are you really asking for a discount right now? When
Right.
everybody else pays for full? And specifically with these, with a model call or a scholarship, you'd be like, yes, the discount is you're already saving $500.
Right. Okay.
Yep.
Let me look here. I think that's everything. I just had a question about Synchrony. How did you get your studio approved for that?
You can't unless you have a family website or whatever. They don't allow boudoir photographers. So I got approved in 2021 and then we all kind of shared it online and they got a bunch of boudoir photographers registered and then their fraud like risk department said no way. Like that's too liable or too risky for us. So if you have an old family website or an old wedding blog, you have to apply with that.
Okay. Yeah, I have a completely separate. I've separated the two so it has no boudoir on it.
So you
Boudoir
have
on
to
it.
try that.
Okay.
Don't
Okay.
mention boudoir. Don't give them your boudoir email. And they might approve you for that.
Okay. It'd be nice to have like a separate. I think I've just kind of got like in my head because I had such a slow like period where I'm like, I love where my prices are at. They make sense for me. Like they'll make me money. They dropped a little bit, but I added in that super high collection because I've had a few people that they get up to like my high one and they're like, well, what now? And I needed something above that that was like, well, here you go. This has everything
Right.
you could need. But then having the confidence to like push them at full price, I guess I'm still kind of nervous about. So
That's don't discount 50%. If you want something juicy, do 1,000 off, like work yourself up to that. But don't cut yourself short because we'll regret it later. Does that
yes,
you took notes, right? I saw you
I
writing.
did. Yeah, so many. Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, Summer, you're next on my screen. Come on down. What are your questions?
All right. So, I am working on visibility and getting myself out there, and I'm super slow right now, so I'm trying to make the best out of it and figure out how to do things on the back end then. So, I'm trying to figure out how to connect with local businesses, but I noticed when I've tried in the past, I I don't know, it doesn't go anywhere, or they don't seem to be as into the connection as I am, or I don't know, so I'm trying to see what tips you may have for connecting with businesses besides the Chamber of Commerce, because I'm looking at getting in that, but our area, before I commit to that, I want to make sure we're committed to this county.
Where would be your next county? Like, is it far away?
No, there's like a bunch of different counties in this area, and we want to make sure we're staying here because we might be moving apartments in May.
Are you still going to serve that area for
Yeah.
clients though? Then we were a part of two chambers, my hometown and the town we live in.
Okay.
Because it doesn't matter where, if it's like within, an hour, people could still come from there. So I
Okay.
wouldn't let that stop you. The other thing is like, I would not cold call a business and be like, hi, do you want to collab with me? Or like walk in. Like the way those connections are built are easier when it's through like a network because people know what you're there for. So I
Okay.
would look into the chamber. I would look into the only thing I would question is like BNI because they have this weird like referral. You have to refer so many people, and it just doesn't feel as genuine as like the chamber, women in business. Beauty Boost is a good one. If you have a beauty boost around you, it's like high, powerful women entrepreneurs who are into like self-development. They do like yoga days and business days, and like our one in Indy did like a closet swap where you bring in your clothes, and it's just like very good energy, ideal clients. So I would look into those and I would attend the meetings. So the coffee meetups, the boring networking things, the events, the award shows. It's going to be much easier to form a connection with businesses who are also there to form a connection with businesses versus just trying to go to random entrepreneurs and being like, hey, you want to collab with me? And they're going to be like, I don't even know who you are or what you're doing. So I would still join, even if,
Okay.
especially if you're only going to be counties away, like go be a part of that chamber.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out here. So we're staying here, I know, for the next several years, but yeah, and then we are contemplating in a few years moving to my hometown again, which I'm already partially connected there, I guess, still. So I've just been doing like minis over there whenever I go and visit. So it's been every 4 months or something. So I'm starting to get roots there as well. So I've just been developing that while I visit family and stuff. So I just did that. I did 3 sessions, and I've been opening up family sessions or lifestyle sessions a little bit more. So I've been doing that, and I learned I used to hate families because I was like, it's just I hate the like, oh, you gotta sit and smile and make the kids smile. But I did this one session I traded with a hairdresser, and oh my gosh, I loved it. And I haven't had this in a minute because like I'm planning a model call right now with Boudoir, and I'm having trouble finding something that just gets me excited and I'm ready to plan it. But this one for families, she wanted fully candids. We just went to a parking garage, and she wanted like hipster artsy vibes.
Yeah.
And they turned out so freaking good. I honestly wanted to give her all of the images, but we settled on 14 instead of thinking like 50. Uh, but like, because she just wanted them for Christmas cards.
Right.
But yeah, it was so fun and easy. And I went in there kind of nervous because I was like, oh, it's also my mom's hairdresser. So I was like super nervous. I didn't want to mess anything up. I want to make sure they turned out how she was hoping. And yeah. But I also didn't want to try and pose to little boys. It was like 6 and 8 years old. And I was like, boys. But no, it was so fun. And so I was like, okay, definitely gonna start implementing that and probably do like a model call for that type style shoots in like January, late January, to get like
I would. In 2020, we did a family model call. Well, we call them Goddess Glam. I have like a separate brand that I don't talk about, but like it's couture gowns for families and stuff. That was an addiction for a while, buying dresses, so I had to turn it into something. But our family average is $7,500. It's more than our boudoir average, but I'm just lazy and don't like shooting families. So model call for family works really well. And every family that we booked then became a boudoir client. So if you guys are in a space where like your boudoir feels slow or you're just like, I need some sessions on the books, go market to your chamber for brand, headshots, or family. I love, love, love just an easy brand mini day. They come to the studio for headshots. I get them in, I get them out. They turn into a boudoir client because I will say, for example, Chamber of Commerce member, the landscaping guys. Hi, my name's Jack. Do you need a landscaper? Hi, my name's Kiera. Do you want to get naked on camera for me? It's a harder sell. But if you're like, our chamber has this platform where you can post like hot deals for chamber members. And in October, I did headshot minis. If you need to refresh your branding, like come on in right now. Got them in. Then they're in the studio. Then they ask about the studio. They have that personal connection. They get to know you. There's your next boudoir client. So run with the family stuff if you want. And yes, join that chamber. Even if you're going to move eventually, we need to be making plans for right now, not years down the road to keep you afloat.
Okay. The other thing, so I am still gonna launch the model call because I've already got part of it planned. I'm doing just the sheets. I'm labeling it as like undercover confidence because get under the covers and
I like that.
Unveil your confidence for 2025. I was already planning on launching Wednesday until Sunday. I'm learning launching through that Friday time is always great. So I was thinking Wednesday to Sunday, and then probably I had planned Tuesday to do, or thought to do the following Tuesday to do like a flash sale version just to test it.
Yep.
And so probably do that just because it's a couple days away, but not too far to where people forget about it. So I'm gonna do that, and then let's see. Oh, I am working on connecting more, but I'm trying to figure out how to not do what you posted about where the Caleb being in jail post where I'm trying to not cross that line of overdoing it, TMI stuff. And so I'm trying to figure out how to do that. So I did a post that actually went kind of well because my engagement has been absolutely dead in my group, on my Instagram, everywhere. I don't seem to get engagement for anything. And so it did actually get quite a few comments. I did a post about like, hey, I've got divorced parents and here's some of the struggles I've managed to deal with. But here's something I learned from it.
Yep.
What's something you learned? And they got a little bit. So what are some things though about the connection how did you figure out that line?
Oh, I just test the line. Like I literally shared that status that said, I spent $700 on phone sex with a jail inmate because he was in jail for 5 days for DUI. So it's like, oh my God, that is not information you want to share with your audience, but it was because we had built up that community. So it's little posts like that. It's showing vulnerability of like, would I share that with my entrepreneur audience? Yeah, of course, because like y'all know, wild. My boudoir audience is definitely a little more conservative, small town Indiana. Like you just know your line by kind of watching. And also you're going to attract people who vibe with you. So
Okay.
what would you share? What would you be comfortable letting them know? And I think the divorced parents thing is a great one. You could also do like a mental health one. When I was going through like my postpartum, it was something that I shared a lot. Like so many people can relate to that. So instead of thinking of like what's something crazy I can share, it's like what is something that I would want to talk to a friend to about right now? And that's your next moment. Organic engagement in BTS is a good one for that if you want to go watch that. I'll put that. But all is like find a way to tie it back. Like what was the lesson that you learned? That was a good way that you did the divorced parents one that you can do. So that's what I would do while you're trying to think of topics like that. And then tie it back to your business pillar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Last question I had down was so I'm learning that on phone consults I stumble a lot. My husband notices and he comments a lot. He's like, you need to stop saying So I struggle with that a lot. I'm super awkward, but that's become a part of my brand now is just embracing the awkward, embracing the weird. But I have learned to just hate phone consults. I don't have them as much recently because things have been slow, so I've been trying to figure out if I should, because I my last few things of people that I did book were email. They just wanted to email because their moms or they're, busy. And so I'm trying to figure out how to start. I think I made a post about it and people said to do like have an option for both.
Yep.
And I will still offer that, but I'm trying to think of how to convert because I use pretty much the calls that convert script essentially, just slightly worded for me. Trying to figure out how to convert it into an email or an online booking thing.
If you go to Calls That Convert, there's a PDF that has the text script or the email book in that module.
Yeah, I have it. I'm just trying to think of because I don't want to set it up as like a trying to think of the word, like a workflow where it's automatic. I still want to be able, because I mean, not every time is it a perfect response when somebody is responding to the email or something. It doesn't fit perfectly. So, because they could decide that they want to talk about something else, and then the email would just auto send saying something completely off to what they're responding with. So I'm just trying to think of how to set that up, or should I just do like what you have with the Thrive cart?
I don't use Thrivecart for my inquiries. What do you mean?
Okay, I guess I'm used to seeing your business side of things. I don't know. I'm trying to think of just do you just have it set up like a workflow?
No. So my online booking is just an email. It's in Dominate. If you search inquiry and it just gives them the information and then they go and they book it through
Okay.
Acuity. So if you don't want to automate it, you're just going to have to email back and forth to people. So there's nothing to set up.
Okay, so automation it would be the option. Okay.
Yeah.
I just feel weird about it just because I know that some people can respond. Like I've had the script in my phone and like somebody emailed me something and I was like ready to send it and then I was like, that doesn't work. I can't follow the script because they jump to something else.
This is just a communication thing. Like you just have to be able to read the email and just respond whatever they're asking to then. So like ditch the script and just respond. The only script part you need would be the anchor swoop hug, the positioning of the pricing. So you're not just like, it's $5,000, here you go. Everything else you can just email back like you're having a regular conversation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll set that or create the options on my website then. Okay, that'll be all then. Thank you.
Perfect. You are welcome. Julie, you're next on my screen. How are we feeling?
Good.
How's your homework to-do list things going?
Stop. I know. It's horrible. It's horrible because I try to accomplish as much as I can. I know. And then I do too much. Okay, so and then it gives me energy and then I want to do more. And then I don't sleep. It's fine. Okay, so like September, October, I've been like doing super good about pre-education, all that kind of stuff. And like everything I was doing, throwing out, people were snatching it up. Nurture, adrenaline, everything, right?
What a problem.
Yeah, just snatching it up so good. And then we got into November. And like, am I just in a mindset? Am I where, like, am I offering too much? I always think I change it up.
Okay.
I think I change it up. I think I do a really good job of that. My group is like on fire always. The comments, everything is so good in it. I don't resent them. I do daily lives, all that kind of stuff. So I think I present really well. Is it just like the time of the year?
I'm going to make you zoom out because I see your stuff and you do. You're really good. I don't think you're offering too much. This is just the ebb and flow of entrepreneurship. And you said what, like September, October were really good. Things were like popping. Okay, so you're saying 1 month, November, it didn't feel yeah. So when you zoom out, there has to be an ebb and flow because if we're only going up, we will crash. So this is something that I've talked to like some procs people about is when we're successful, like when our business doesn't have any quote unquote like problems, we kind of like create the problems. So it's finding the finesse of like, so some months will be really heavy booking. And then that down month is when I finesse a workflow, when I dream bigger, when I do the nitty gritty, like boring stuff that isn't client facing. So it's all the shit on the back end of the business, whether that's redoing the studio, whether it's planning your next launch. It's just a refinement month. We have to have refinement months, otherwise we'll crash and burn. And when you can get comfortable with the ebb, and I don't just mean money, I mean the ebb of inquiries, the ebb of ideas. Sometimes I will have a million different model call ideas, theme ideas, and then I will just be like, I don't know. Show me a butt. Let me just take some butt photos. Like it's nothing. It feels like flatlined. And your ego will be like, this is it. You've run your course. You're fucking dumb. You're dead. Like you're out of it. And then when you zoom back, you're like, wait a minute. One, like what part of my cycle am I in hormonally? Because sometimes like that has an impact. Two, what's my personal life doing? Three, oh, it's November. It's almost winter. Our bodies as humans go into hibernation mode, but we've just been taught that we have to follow this fiscal calendar, even though this is like the natural, like hibernate, get cozy, go inward. When we follow that, I don't know what's it called, like that season of like following our natural instinct, like spring is when we're alive and we're thriving. So don't like try to force things. It's only been a month. Do some refinement. Ebb and flows are good. What do you have planned for December would be my next question. But everything you're saying is,
Oh, don't you worry. Don't you worry, friend. I got it all out.
of course you do. Okay.
I got it all written out for you. Okay.
Okay.
So, I did the vault. Lord help me. The vault, I'm doing a lot of work on that.
I need to do the vault for myself. My toxic trait is I will give you guys a million ideas, and then Caleb's like, "Have we done it yet?"
And I am trying.
You
I am trying to be so good about it, but behind the scenes and all the stuff that I've had and doing it great, right? Because I don't do things little, so it's fine. So I'm doing the vault for the entire month. I thought I could get it in 14 days. That is a joke.
Okay, bad. Do it for the whole month then.
Yeah. So I've got the vault. The first 5 days, well, I started it today. Like on the second day of Christmas, Julie gave to me.
Wow.
And so like Google reviews, all the things that I want, testimonies, Google reviews, that kind of stuff for the month. So I'm doing those as like my like gives, right? And then in 2 weeks I will release the calendar.
Yep.
I've not done that before. So
Okay.
we talked about that. So then that's like my December. And then that was what my question is when do I launch the New Year one? Like when's a good day to like launch it?
Let me pull this up. Are your people, you said they go both adrenaline and nurture, right?
Well, yeah, until I get Debbie Downer and think that I can't sell.
No, you can sell. It's normal to have ebbs and flows. Literally, you have to have an ebb so that you can flow back into flow. Now, listen, I want everybody who's still on the call to hear this. When I say an ebb, it doesn't mean money stops. It just means like the pace is a little softer. You can still make thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars during an ebb, but you're just doing more back end stuff because you can't go full steam ahead, forward facing all the time. And this is something that I struggled with because it was like, Holly too. This whole time she's been like, I wanted to be like outward. Your people are not going to forget about your business. You have built such a brand that if you take like 2.5 weeks to chill the fuck out, they're not going to forget about you. And honestly, sometimes when I say, yo, I'm having like an anti-social media week, that's when I get the best engagement. I'm like, if you guys want to run this for me, that's so awesome. Be my little elf helpers. That's perfect for Christmas time. Like, here you go. Or like, let's do a social media detox. Take 5 days off, set an alarm on your phone, and then come check back into the group. Make it a challenge for them. But for the New Year's Eve thing, because your group performs well with adrenaline, I think it would be super fun to launch it on New Year's Eve, like December 31st in the morning, have some things scheduled throughout the day, and then you just carry that launch into January. as your first like nurture thing if you want. You could switch it to application based if you don't fill it all. So you could do it December 30th if you wanted a full day, but I think it would be like a very fun, like, I dare you to in 24 on a bang, get yourself a boudoir session for 25. Like, I dare you to do it. You've got 3 hours left. It's 9 o'clock. Get in before the clock strikes midnight. You could do so many things with that. Kind of like a pushy, like edgy. If you wanted to offer something niche, like maybe you have a last minute opening for January for like a specific theme you wanted to do middle of December, you could play with that. But otherwise, you're doing so much prep work for pre-education. I think an end of the month, end of the year flash sale could work super well for your business.
I like it.
Do you like that? Do you trust yourself enough to just like pre-educate, organically show up, have fun in December to wait until the last day to launch something?
Yeah, it's more, I will just be honest. In my head, I'm working through, I have to do a sale in order to bring in income. And that's its own world.
Yeah, that's its own thing. I would dig into Flip the Script today. And I have to do a sale equals I have to do a sale. Do Flip the Script, not on money, but on the belief of I have to do a sale. Because a lot of people hold this belief, and it's like, no, all of your pre-education is your organic marketing. You could book a boudoir session whenever you want. It's just how well are we giving them the opportunity? One more BTS training to rewatch with that is Reframe launching, and it's exactly that. It's you don't have to discount it to book it. You just have to be speaking specifically to them to create the initiative to book now. So you have to light a fire under their butt to inquire now versus being like, half off, here you go.
Yeah.
Which, like I said, I've got 2 trainings this week for BTS, and they're kind of sassy, but they're going to be good. And it's going to get into like, we think that if we throw up a $25 session fee for 2025, that's going to cure our booking problems versus like, we're just not giving them the action to book. We're not giving them the fire to say yes right now. So I'll walk everybody through that. That'll kind of help with your, I feel like I have to have a sale because we'll dig into like, why couldn't they just book right now? So we'll look at that later on. But does that give you a plan?
Yes. So January, December is great. And I mean, I have enough stuff to keep me busy because that's probably half the problem.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what I was thinking about for January, is it too soon? Do I need to do that since I'm doing like the vault, since I'm doing like the 5 days of giving? I have not done the sponsorship, and I was going to do, so there was the sponsorship, and then I was gonna do the for like a Galentine's event. I was also gonna do like the Easter egg. So I kind of like just balancing that out in January.
I would not do scholarship thing in January because that is when people feel the financial hangover or they use that as an excuse. Like, I do not understand society. Christmas is the same day every single year. We could pre-plan for this all year long, but we don't. But people use January as that excuse. I would save the scholarship for like International Women's Day on March 8th. That time frame. January, let's maybe do something niche, creative ideas. You're coming to see me. We could use your whole weekend trip as like a push of like, I've got all these new ideas. I've got this like creative zhuzh. Somebody come help me bring this vision to life. We could come up with so many different things for January. I would not waste the scholarship on that.
Because then I can also push like the Easter egg.
Right, exactly.
And the Galentine's event as a serving. Because I fully believe that in my town of 900, I mean, my husband has been on Chamber, and I love that it works for everyone. I seriously do. And I have been to Chamber before, and I've been to Rotary. Oh yes, I go to both of them.
Yeah.
But it is a different ballpark when you are dealing with people who are 75 years old, who are retired, and our community, I mean, their wives aren't coming in for sessions. It's very different. And I do try.
Right.
But that's not been a good angle for me to go.
I feel that when I was in my other town, that chamber wasn't good. That's why we were in a different town's chamber. And it's the same as the country club here. We live right next door in a like private neighborhood next to the country club. Everybody's like, "Oh my God, you could get your high affluent clients." No, it's like 82-year-old men who hate us because we didn't want an HOA in our neighborhood and we're the youngest in here. Like, I am not going to waste my dues on the country club because there's a giant generational gap and they're just not the ones spending. So yeah.
And they
totally.
don't do social media at all.
At
Like
all.
there is no social media. I mean, I'm in there with the judge and and it is just not.
I would look into if you have a beauty boost around you. That is a fun group. Nothing?
None. Like I'm always like the creator of trying to get these women together, which is what I was going to do in January too. Like I've been talking to women businesses so they can do some form of, but they don't even want to share. They don't want to share on social media. They don't like, they're still in that like people are going to come into my storefront.
Oh, yeah. I was playing around with the idea. I just got busy and didn't implement it, add it to the list of undone ideas. A content day for entrepreneurs, and you invite them to like not selfie their stuff, but like selfie their products in your studio, and like you're the host, and you could do like a fundraiser for the women's shelter and like get everybody in. Big vision, opening up a network or something. But yeah, I wouldn't push that. It's working in other areas for you. Like that's the beauty of running your own business. Just because I recommend it to somebody else doesn't mean it has to work for you because you're getting it elsewhere. So I wouldn't waste your time on that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Permission to not do that.
That is so great because I'm like, I wish, I mean, my husband's the youngest one in there and he's in his 50s. And so,
Yeah.
I mean, we joke about it a lot, but I wish it could be. It's just not. I like the idea of like asking some of those women, even getting them to like donate something. They're just not in it. They don't want to share. They don't.
Yeah.
It's just very different. And I wish I could get them to push the benefits of social media, but it feels like an uphill battle. That's a lot of energy.
I wouldn't waste energy on it right now. Maybe that's a later on thing. Maybe you get bored and you start a coven of something else. Who knows?
Okay.
Who knows?
Thank you.
But December's good. We'll map out a full thing for January in person. I'm so excited to just in person everything.
Me too.
Prepare for tangents. Because
I love it.
Stay together? I don't even know. Oh, okay. That feels good. Nicole, you're next, and then we have Lindsay, okay? How are we feeling, Nicole?
I'm good. So I just want to piggyback on this before I lose it in my brain.
Okay.
So I have done 2, maybe 3 events with the Beauty Boost in my area. It's a great way to meet other people. And they actually introduced me to another group
Okay.
that also does empowerment. So that's one thing to consider. But there's also like, I don't know if anybody's tapped into women's Chamber of Commerce. At least in my area, we have a bunch of different like groups that are for women business owners. And I feel like when I've gone and talked to them, they're much more receptive for that. So if you want some names of some of those businesses, I can put them in the chat when I'm done.
That's perfect. You could post it in the Facebook group for everybody.
Oh.
That would be awesome.
There you go. I will do that. Awesome. Okay. So I know that we talked last week and I started to do the vault today.
Okay.
I did January. I am actually trying out Reels to see if that helps with engagement as opposed to just static photos, because I swear, like I'll post something and it's like 25 people see it. Like, oh, okay.
It's rough out there. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right, let's try Reels. The last time I did Reels for my sale for the gratitude give back, it broke through a lot easier than anything else. So I was like, holy crap, like maybe this will work. So we're gonna give that a whirl. Tomorrow I think it's just gonna be static photos just to see what the difference is between today and tomorrow.
Yep.
But you said to still launch my model call because I'm going to do the birthday, still launch it in the middle of doing the vault. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, the vault is just extra engagement, extra awareness. It's perfect because it's showcasing different types of bodies, different types of people, different pre-education. So absolutely you can still do a vault while you're doing a launch.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. So that is going to be then launching next week
Okay.
for that. Because I was going to wait till the 16th, but when you said what you said earlier,
I would push it a little bit. Yeah.
I'm gonna run it on the 9th, um, for probably that whole week,
Yep.
which is fine. And then, so I'm trying to get prepared for January.
Mhm.
I have 2 bridal shows that I'm gonna do.
Okay.
I'm also gonna run a birthday flash sale, I believe. I don't know what that's gonna be called yet. I need to come up with something creative for that. And I want to do like a niche offer for ladies that get engaged and um are like within the first year of marriage because the paper anniversary.
Right.
So I want to do that. I want to come up with like nurturing emails.
Okay.
So I did watch your email training in BTS, and I did get the email frenzy when you did the sale. My mind is racing because I'm like, oh my gosh, this is exciting. But then I'm like, how do I do like nurturing emails if they're cold leads? They might not have they might have thought about boudoir, but kind of not really thought about doing it or booking it immediately. So I'm not sure how to structure like an email sequence for them.
I don't do email sequences. So I'm the weirdo
Okay.
who doesn't do any type of nurture workflow because if they're on my email list, they found me through social. So I
Mhm.
would, if you're getting people, it's easier to direct them or to nurture them on social media because they're right there, they're seeing it, they're on Facebook anyways. They don't have to open a specific email from you. So if you're doing like bridal shows, I would direct them, yes, to your email list, but to your socials too. But what you could do is whatever you're nurturing them with on Facebook or Instagram, that can be your email content too. So don't
Okay.
be afraid to just like copy the content that you're sharing with your people over there into an email list.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was my email list is much bigger than like my social media following, and part of it is because I feel like nobody can find me on social media
Yeah.
unless specifically are looking for me. Um,
So then
and
whenever you would go to post on Facebook, send it as an email instead. Maybe
yeah,
do like a weekly wrap up with like sneak peeks, news about the studio, things like that.
okay,
Hmm.
all right, yeah, because I was like, how do I do subliminal, subconscious marketing through emails?
I send it the same post, I just send it in a newsletter. For my applications, when I send out a model call application, I pair it with a subconscious marketing post and it gets people. The thing that with email headers, I do something really obnoxious like you're not the right size for boudoir as the preview text, and people are like, "Excuse me, what do you mean?" And then when they open it up, you say like, "Those are the thoughts that you tell yourself." And then
Hmm.
you go into the subconscious where it's like, JK, like that's not true at all. So I use that as like the what header, and
Yeah.
that's how it leads into the subconscious marketing in the email itself.
Okay. Yeah, because like one of the emails I was thinking about was something borrowed, something blue, something related to boudoir,
Hmm.
um, as like a catchy email, but then I'm like, is that too kitschy or I don't know.
No, that's perfect. Anything that you would post on Facebook as subconscious marketing can be your email body.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
So
right. Well, so we have some work to do.
yeah, to
Hold
do
on.
that in your emails. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So what do you have any ideas of what I can call this?
The bridal
The
one or something
Yeah,
else?
the bridal one.
Um, the Wifey Edit, Bridal Bliss, um, Ring in the New Year with a ring graphic,
Mhm.
end of December or beginning of January. So
Mhm.
many things. Something borrowed, something blue, something booty, and it's like a peach emoji or something fun to tie into boudoir. Something borrowed, something blue, something booty spelled like boudoir, Boudie would be fun.
Mhm. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Yep. All right. So
I have
then
a lot.
we do have a lot.
Huh?
This is what, look, today is admin day, and today we are getting all of these things done, scheduling all of the content so I don't have to think about it for the next 2 weeks. So
Amazing. There we go. Perfect. Do you feel
thank
better?
you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Okay, Lindsay and Katie will go quickly and then we'll wrap. Lindsay, what is your question?
All right. Well, first question, I've heard you mention like coaching calls. Is that for like something else or like
What do you mean?
uh oh gosh, I can't remember who it was. Like that you were like speaking with someone with like a coaching call. Is that maybe like a different container or
Oh, yeah, like Julie's coming for an in-person workshop with me in January, and Joe is in Growth Galaxy too. So they
okay.
have other calls, yeah.
Okay. Um so I don't know. I think I just need like a complete overhaul. Uh like I can't remember if it was like on your Facebook or Instagram, probably Instagram, where it's like you said nothing's sticking. Tell me you don't know how to market without telling me. I'm like, yes, I don't.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm not doing or what I'm doing wrong. Like freaking crickets. And I'm getting so frustrated. I have um like I technically don't have a studio right now. We're waiting to do the floors like in I don't know, like the 14th of
Yeah.
December or whatever. So it's like I have all these ideas and like I know I should be showing and all this, but I don't have the studio.
What are you launching next, or like what are you talking about next? I'm gonna give you some homework.
Even know.
Okay.
So this over the holidays, I have a past client group, and I was trying to get them to like leave their experiences in the main group.
Yeah.
One person did it, and she's a friend of mine.
Okay.
Like I offered $50 gift card to Amazon or whatever, and I had like a free coffee in there. So I'm like, why are you in here if you're not like that's kind of like messing me up.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I sent invitations or like some people I sent invitations to. It's like our last one got shut down.
Yeah.
Like when I lost my Facebook. So they're in there willingly, it's not like I'm like, go
Right.
in here. So they're in there, but I'm like, you're still not like budging. Like what?
I
Maybe
would
you did have a great experience. I don't know, but why are you in here if you're not? I don't, I'm so like,
I want to see I want to see you give them a reason to interact. So what I want you to do is before Friday, so give yourself the week. I want you to write 5 posts. I would go rewatch Reframe Launching is going to be a good one for authoritative voice. I would also go rewatch authoritative content in Dominate, and I want you to give me 5 posts. So you can just tag me in the group and be like, colored background text, Kiera, here's my homework. In each comment, give that way it's not all jumbled. Give me like a post, a post, a post. I want create an offer, whatever it is, whether you're selling like quarter 1 spots, all of next year spots, whatever. I want you to rewatch authoritative content and Reframe Launching. And I want 5 examples of how you would market this, and then let me rip it apart in the best way. Okay. So that's what I want to see. So 3 things for you. I'm gonna write it down for you. Reframe Launching. That's BTS. Oh my goodness. Authoritative content. Dominate. And then organic engagement. Those are the ones I want you to watch and implement, and then give me your 5 posts so I can see where the disconnect is. Okay. The organic engagement is going to be really important because that's going to give them a reason to interact and to do things. And then the authoritative and the reframe launching is going to kind of step up the call to action and the initiative to book now. Can you do that this week?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Tag me in the group, do like a colored background text, just be like, hey, here's my homework, and then put each content post like in its own comment, and I can go through and look at that. Okay. That way we can figure it out. The organic engagement, though, you can start that this week, like starting the things that I've implemented or that I mentioned in there. Okay.
Okay.
Perfect. Does that sound like a plan?
Plan. Yes.
Did you find the mid-year blow up?
Yeah. Yes. I don't know.
Okay.
So I think I only have like, there's like 2 things that you've offered that I don't have, I think. So looking back, I was
Yeah, I
trying
think
to,
that's everything.
yeah, everything. So I
Mhm.
was like looking, like I just stayed up one night and I was like rewatching everything, looking at everything, and I was like, oh, that's not coming up. And I like didn't even think about it being like a Facebook thing. So
Did
yeah,
you
sorry.
rewatch
I was
that?
like,
No, you're good. You can do that. You can do that right now. Even though it's not middle of the year, you can use that as
yeah,
if you're hype. So I would kind
yeah,
of
I'll definitely go back and watch. I just felt bad for even like
Oh no,
bothering. It's like,
you're
oh
good. I was like, oh shit, it disappeared. And then I was like, wait, you're actually in here. Here you go. So that works. No,
no.
not bothering me at
Okay.
all. I have
Okay.
a million things. So I'm like, oh fuck, where did it go? And then I was like, oh wait a minute, here you go, right there. So you're good. Rewatch that. You can do that anytime.
Yeah.
Not just mid-year. It would actually be good for a beginning of the year thing too. So I would follow that and then tag me in that and we can go from there. Okay.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Katie, questions. And we can wrap it from there. How are you?
I'm good. I just left my psychiatrist.
Okay.
And I told her that I've been like going through waves of like really hitting a wall and then just feeling like everything's fine. So a win for me is that she put me on like a supplement regimen. So that's in the mail and it's on its way. And then in the meantime, she prescribed me like a very low dose antidepressant.
Nice.
So she was like, because the supplements will take a minute to kick in. So in the meantime, let's have,
Yes.
some relief. So
Yeah.
I'm really excited about that. And then another win, I actually hit up a friend. Oh, I will. I'll drop it in the I'll drop it for you guys. But I hit up a friend because I was like, I just feel like so blah postpartum. And I was like, the first thing I always like let go is my hair. And I was like, hey, like, how much would it be to like get my hair done with you? And she's like, actually, I need more photos. Like, do you want to do a trade? And I was like, oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And she did like my iconic purple hair a couple years ago. And when I did that with like my marketing pictures, like people went bananas for
I
it.
love
So I'm
it.
gonna do teal. And I'm really excited. I think it's just gonna be like a nice zhuzh for my mental health.
Yeah.
Um, so anyways, I'm ending the year and what feels like a positive note because November can kick rocks.
Yep.
So, but anyway, so questions that I have. I did 2 launches in November. I did like After Dark, which was like very niche, almost like goth,
Yeah.
like whips and chains kind of vibe. And I did get 1 booking for that.
Good.
I think I got maybe 2 applications total, maybe 3. One girl like self-elected out because she thought it was $300 total, and I was like, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she also hasn't been following me for very long, so I can't really blame her.
Right.
But anyway, so I did book someone, so I consider that a win. And then I launched just like the unapologetic era, which
Yeah.
was super broad, but I got really excited and I launched it the week of Thanksgiving, and I'm like, am I stupid?
I would just relaunch that because your branding is great for it. Because I saw
Okay.
it come across my feed. I think it just got lost in Black Friday, Thanksgiving. Like that was a heavy week of just
Yeah.
everything. It was like sale vomit of everybody. I would just relaunch it later on.
Okay. Because I am so excited about it. It's not like that kind of like lit, turn the fire down. I was just like,
Yeah.
which direction should I go? Okay. So,
Yeah.
because I'll just reopen the doors or whatever.
Mhm.
And then I had 2 applications for that. It was like probably Monday I got them, or Monday I contacted them or whatever. So it wasn't that long ago, but obviously like the holiday stuff was going on, so I wanted to wait until after Thanksgiving to just nudge them and be like, hey, like we need to get a consult on
Yeah.
the calendar. Like, w- should I text them to follow up or should I email them?
I would just shoot him a text that's like, hey, just wanted to remind. I know holidays were crazy. This is the last chance if you still wanted to lock this in.
Okay. Because
Yep.
I don't want to be like too pushy and send them like 3 paragraphs, but I also just want to move on, you know?
No, like quick, boom, boom, here you go. Here's the
Okay.
link. to the call.
Cool. And then I guess another win. So I looked at my reports and I'm only it's like $11,900 away from earning what I did all of last year, but I did it in half the time because I took 6 months off.
That's incredible.
So
That's a huge
I I even though November fucking sucked, like when you said like zoom out, like I have this like bad habit of being like, I should just go get a job or like I'll just sign up to DoorDash or whatever. And then I'm like, it really is not that serious. Like it just comes with the territory.
1 month is not your make or break.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm recommitting with my mindset this month and then knowing that I'm so close to hitting what I did last year. So that sets an easy goal, like a very clear goal for myself. Like a $12,000 a month would get me to what I earned last year. And then if I make more, that's awesome.
Yep.
And then my other goal is I want to book 6 more clients for quarter 1, and that would kind of average me at like 1 client a week.
Yep.
And I have 4 sessions on the book for February. One of them I'm skeptical because she asked me if she could do a bunch of trades, which I said yes to one, which was part of her session fee. And then she asked to do more trades, and I was like, it was for my goddess grant, and I was like, this is already a huge savings. Like
I know.
yeah,
That was a
like
huge discount.
so I'm gonna have to follow up with her. And the other girl, so normally my policy is start a payment plan within 30 days, but the other person, it's actually someone I've known since I was a teenager. She lives in Asheville where all the like flooding happened. So I was like, she's a grown adult, like she's a very responsible person. Like I'm not thinking she's gonna drop off the map, but I do think she's ready to talk about it because she like liked one of my statuses about a post that I made.
Okay.
So I feel like she's got internet service. She seems like things have settled down, and her house is okay, thankfully. But obviously that was chaotic.
Right.
So anyway, so for right now, I have like 2 for sure, 2 tentative, and then 6 more would be my goal. So with that goal in mind, so like relaunch, unapologetic. Should I have like an end date for that? With the
Yeah.
holiday coming up.
I would absolutely put an end date. Otherwise, they're not going to apply.
Okay. Should I so this is kind of like a 2-part question, but I really feel like I need to do some more serves. So should I focus this week on serving and then reopen next week or have it open the whole time?
Serve this week, reopen next week, do the vault this week.
Okay.
Yep.
I think that might have been it.
And the vault is going to be a good like serve, get eyes on you this week so you can reopen next week.
Would you consider the vault like a serve?
Yeah. It's lots of free education. It's lots of giving back to those clients who have already spent. They're getting hyped. So yes.
So it's a big serve, not just like a little like, oh, here's a playlist.
Yep.
Okay. Just wondering like how much I have a tendency to just like go overboard and then run myself underground because I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I would get off more than I could chew.
No, that's a good serve. Mhm.
Okay. So do the vault. That'll be my serve and then relaunch next week.
Yep.
Should I do Monday through Friday or like because
Whatever.
I have a flight I think it's the 23rd is when I leave town to go back home. So I would want to do like all my calls, and I'm not looking at a calendar yet. Hold on.
Absolutely have all your calls finished before the 16th or the 18th at the latest. So you need to be able to do calls back to back to back.
Okay. And that might be all my questions. Let me just double check. Hold on, where'd my thing go? Oh, and then so right now I've been doing a lot of nurture based, but I know there's a lot going on like with the holidays, and I kind of do want to throw out like an adrenaline something at some point just to kind of like test the waters. Should I wait until next year?
Yep,
Don't even try that right now.
I
Okay.
would. Yep, I would wait until January.
Okay,
And
cool.
you could just have no expectation. I wouldn't put a lot of like time and clenchiness onto it. You could throw it out to sea, but I would wait to plan a big niche-y something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this is my last question, but it kind of piggybacks off that. So, with last month being like so blah, should I was thinking about doing like some cash injections, specifically like hard drive sales, like really just purging because I actually could use the extra space and to finish some things up with like a bow. Um, should I do that for December? Like, is that a good thing to sprinkle in for like past clients?
Yeah, like this week, email them privately. Don't post about it publicly.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Well, then I think that's it for me.
Amazing. Okay, guys, this was so good. I will render the replay, post it in the group. So if you want to re-listen, relaunch, you can. Give me like a day because this was a long one, so it's going to take a minute. But tag me in the Facebook group if you have questions, and then I will see you twice in BTS this week, okay? All right. Bye, guys. Thank you.